Hey guys, welcome to TECMK, and in this episode we are going to talk about overshoot and settle and slow in slow out. What's that? Yeah, we'll explain. Now, whenever we make any action, whatever, going up, coming down or whatever you want, our body does not end just like that. There is a little bit of action which follows the body. What type of action is that? Like suppose if I'm punching. You see, when I'm punching, my hand is going forward and coming back a little. This is called the overshoot and settle. Overshoot means it shoots up a little and then it goes back. Now, shoots up does not mean every time up. It can be down also. And there is certain action which ends out with a very ease, with a very slow motion. So this is the ease out. This is the ease out. For example, a couple of other examples, like for example, I'm standing here, I'm sitting. Now you see, while I'm sitting, my body went down a bit and then it settled. Or suppose if I'm standing, I can stand like this, just the slow out of the body and the body gets settled. Or if I make it a little bit faster, what happens? I'm sitting here and I'm standing and this. So you see, the body goes up, body shoots up and the settle. This is called the overshoot and settle. So overshoot or settle or a slow out, it depends on how the body behaves, how fast or how slow the body is acting out. Usually it's being seen, there's no hard and fast rule and it varies from person to person. Usually a fast action always ends with an overshoot and settle and a slow action ends with a slow out. There are some actions which has a possibility of ending both with overshoot and settle and with slow out. So without wasting further time, let's jump into a few basic exercises of overshoot and settle and slow out, and let's check out for yourself how things are going to be. There are a couple of actions, pose to pose change, which has been done, and here we are going to explain the slow in, slow out and the overshoot settle. Now, the first action which I can see is that the character is punching. The character is taking up the hand, and in this one he's raising up the heel, and again from 38 to 44 he's settling down. 1 to 10, 20 to 30, 40 to 50. So usually it's being seen that any fast action ends with overshoot and settle, and any slow action ends with ease out or slow out. These are the usual things which has been observed. Exceptions are always there, and there might be difference in opinion. This character is punching. So punching can be expected as a fast action. So what is the overshoot and settle? We have already seen it earlier. So we'll do one thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll make another key here. And overshoot and settle means the hand from the back will go more forward and settle back. And whatever action is happening from 1 to 10, everything will go a little bit more and then settle back at 16. So technically we can do it, we can deal with it. Let's start with the pelvis. Just 1 to 10, check the change. No change, translation. Why, yes, we can see that from 1 to 10, the body was coming up from down. So how about if we take it a little bit down, guys? At the same time, have a look at the viewport. That will be convenient. Z. Okay, Z is going back a little. A little bit more action. Like if the graph is going from down to up, then it should go a little bit more up and settle. This is called overshoot. It shoots up and then settles. No change, no change. So rotation here. We'll just technically do it and then we'll see what effects it leaves on to the actual viewport. I'm not even looking into the viewport. I'm just increasing the action a little bit. Just making, when it's going from down to up, make it a little bit more up. That is the meaning of overshoot. It shoots up a bit over and then settles. That's how I prefer to call it. We can see whatever technical changes we have done in the graph editor. The body was back, it had a back bend, it went forward, it went more forward and then settled. Similarly, the pelvis, as you know from the do's and don'ts PDF file, the rotation of the body is inversely proportional to the translation of the pelvis. That is, if the body is rotating forward, the pelvis will go backward. So you see, the pelvis went more back and settled. You want to make it more? What is the axis of the translation Z? Check out guys how it is going, but I think that will be too much. Let's consider this hand. Do not worry about what's happening and what's not. Those can be adjusted later, but technically just come and change whatever you see is being possible from the graph editor. So if you see guys, the body came forward earlier. If you see, if you can remember, from this to this was a change in pose. Though the 16th frame was on 10 earlier, but the pose of 16 and the pose were 10 were identical. We just increased a little bit in 10 and then let the body settle back in 16. So this is the overshoot and settle. Now while doing this, there are certain issues which we have faced. That is, the controller of the hand has moved way out of the normal mesh. So this is one immediate thing that needs to be rectified at this moment. Let's go to the graph editor and adjust a little bit of edges. We will use all the controllers since all the controllers were manipulated. Here we can see that a little bit of the wrist is okay now. So let's see. Yeah, it's done. We do not see that huge amount of translation or where the controller is leaving out of the body. So the hand is being sorted out. We don't see any problem in the torso, however. Now let's check out the hand. Hand also we don't see any change. So guys, this is the overshoot and settle which we did through the graph editor. Things could have been done manually also in the viewport itself, like when the body is going forward, I could have rotated it more down and all these things, but no, we didn't do it. So technically we use the graph editor to sort out the overshoot and settle issue. Let's come to the second action, where from 20 to 30 the character is taking up the hand and it is also raising the heel. Now as we know that this action can either end with an ease in, ease out or an overshoot settle, but just for the sake of our explanation we'll make it end with ease out. So what is this ease out thing? From 20 to 30 the body is coming in a pose, and from 30 to 40 it's absolutely static. So what we'll do, from 30 to 40 the body will not be static, but a very minimum ease out will continue. So not only the pelvis is coming up, but the heel is also rising. So what we'll do, from 20 to 30 the body is moving, from 30 to 40 is static. Come and delete the key. Now let me explain you something. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, in all these frames, in 10 frames, the body has almost covered up the equal amount of distance in each and every frame. And here it is completely static. Come, delete this one. Now, the body which was stopping in 30 is continuing till 40. So what we can say that in 20 to 21, 22, 24, in all this frame, each and every individual frame, the body is covering the same amount of distance. So what was the earlier frame? In 30, right? So in 30, the majority of the action will be stopping, and then from 30 to 40, there will be a little bit of trail of action, little bit of like almost an ending action which will continue. So what we can do is, now if we just come and press a key in 30, then it doesn't make any difference because it's just a key, and from 30 onwards till 40 the same amount of action will be happening. So what we'll do here, we'll almost come to the ending part, that is 36, and then middle click the mouse button and come here, don't release the middle click, and after you come to 30, release the middle click and then press S. So what happened, guys? The 36th pose, which was there earlier, it came to 30. So what happened? From 20 to 30, the majority of the action happened, and from 30 to 40, you see what is the action which is happening? Minimum action. So this is called the slow out or ease out. Some people even call it slow in or ease in. Whatever it might be, it is just that the action is slowing down towards the end. Graph editor plays a major role in adjusting. Here I want you to focus both on the viewport as well as the graph editor. Pelvis is a prime important thing to start with. So this is 30 and this is 40. If you see carefully, guys, if I zoom it out, zoom in, can you see that this line is slowly going up like a few steps? Step is going up, few steps if you carefully notice. And eventually it is ending here. Now, no matter how slowly the steps are going on or how minor the change is, the graph is actually slowly progressing upward and ending here. But sometimes you will see this one. It might happen sometimes. So what happened here? The graph started going from here, and here it reached a height which is greater than the height of this key. So this is a wrong thing. It didn't happen anyway, but I'm just citing an example. So just make it to undo this thing, and yeah, things are fine over here. This is also fine. We don't see any major changes. If it would have gone like this, then yes, that would have been a problem, but didn't happen. Similarly, if it would have gone down more and then it would have come up, then it would have been a problem. So nothing happened as such. There was no change in this two axis, so no need to worry about it. Let's come to the spine one or something. Yeah, here also we see that it is slowly, it has ended up. No animation here. Spine 2. Okay, cool. From here to here, slowly it is progressing and ending up. Here also the same thing. Nothing as such. Okay. Here let me see. No, I thought that the curve has gone more down, but it didn't. It's fine. Here also it's okay. Head. It's okay, fine. Guys, whenever you feel that there's some issue in that, just click on this one and press F. It will zoom in. So that will be convenient for you. Or you can press this one and zoom in. Just check. Earlier, what was the extent of change that you could have seen? And now you click on it and press F. You can clearly see, and in a very distinctive way, the changes. Okay, before going to the hand, let's go to the heel. I might miss out. So the only change which is happening in the heel is the roll ball. Guys, here you see there are lots of graphs which is coming. So, and you see lots of options given. So select on the graph which you want to see, and you see there's a box which appears just beside the option. So now you know that the graph which you have selected is this one, the roll ball. Here also it's fine. If it would have come like this, just check out, guys, if it would have come like this, instead of going straight here, it went down more, and then it would have been a problem. But no, this is okay. Let's go to the roll ball of this one. No, that's also fine. Let's check out the graph. Perfectly fine. Yes, I don't see any change. No major issues as such. And every graph is going as expected. 20 to 30, it's going up. And then again, from 30 to 40, it's going up there. Now, at any given point of time, you feel that, okay, the body is fine, but I think the hand is making a little bit of more action compared to the rest of the part of the body, and we need to further tone down the hand and make it less. No issues. Select these two hands. 30 to 40, the hand is going up, and you feel that the translation of the hand is way more compared to the other parts of the body. So just do one thing, go to 33 or 34 and decide how much action you want in the end. Do you want it like this much or you want it like this much? Just check by scrubbing on the timeline exactly how much action you want. I feel that 34 to 40 is the exact amount which has been needed. So I'll go to 34, middle click, come to 30, where already a key is being done, and press S again. So what happened now, it took the 34th key and pasted in 30. So now you see, guys, you see the amount of action which you wanted to reduce in this part is actually materialized. Though the left hand is okay with it, the right hand is completely stuck up. I can just come over here, and this translation is causing an issue. So you see, I hold this keys and just take it a little bit down. So you see, so things are done. This is the last action, where from 40 to 50 the character is taking down the hands and settling along with the heel. Now this action can either end with overshoot and settle or with a slow out. So let's see, we'll end it with overshoot and settle, and again we'll do it with a slow out. So we'll do one thing, we'll copy the same keys and paste it over here. So just that in the next also we can do like this. Okay, so 40 to 50 the body is settling. First we'll try the overshoot and settle, and then with the slow out or ease out. So what we can do is just take 6 more frames. So 50 to 60 we have copied the identical frames, and we can say that from 40 to 50 the body, when the body is coming down, it will come more down and settle. Let's do with the viewport here. So take out a little bit. The head was up, the chest was up, and everything was on the upper side. So of course here, little bit down, little bit down. Pelvis, we have already made it down earlier. The body, if you see from the side, the pelvis was front since the rotation was back. So here we'll make the pelvis back and then let it get settled. This was also up, so little bit down. The hands were coming from up to down and from side to side. So if you see, the hands were coming, yeah, so up to down and side to side. So up to down, of course, it will come a bit more down, it will go a bit more inside, and since the rotation was outward, now this will of course come a little bit inward. Same thing, rotation inward, up to down, a little bit more down, and to a bit inside. Shoulders were up for both the cases. So here, little bit of more down for both the cases, and this gives us a flexibility of taking down the hands a little bit more, which we were a bit hesitating to do it earlier, since the controllers of the hands would have made it 100% straight, and the 100% straight hands and legs are not permittable in case of IK rig. That might give a jerk. So this is settling. Here we didn't do from the graph editor, but we did it manually. So this is the settling of the body, overshoot and settle. Overshoot does not always mean going up. Overshoot means making a bit more. From side to side it can be an overshoot, up to down it can be also an overshoot, down to up also it can be an overshoot, in whichever way you want. The same action of up to down now will end with a slow out. So for a slow out, we'll take some frames like maybe from 88 to 96, 98, wherever. So we'll just key it. So as you know, the slow out easy process from 78 to from all these frames to 88. For each and every frame, the body is traveling the same amount of distance. So we'll come to 88 and delete. Now the same action which was happening from 78 to 88 is now happening from 78 to 96. With each and every frame, the body is traveling the same amount of distance. So what was the earlier key? 88, right? So we'll go to 93 or somewhere and then middle click and come to 88. It's pretty much like the body is coming to an end, but there are a few things which needs to be carefully noticed. First of all, let's come to the heel. Graph editor. Guys, can you see that in both the roll ball, there's a little bit of ease out and something. In these type of cases, there cannot be any ease out or slow in or ease out or ease in the heel. Once it settles down, it does not have any other change. Give it to 0. No matter what the entire body is doing, the leg and the heel, unless and until it is floating on the air, swimming, or just sitting on a wall and hanging the legs down, the leg, the feet does not have any ease in, ease out, slow in, slow out. It's just like pose to pose. That's it. And I don't feel that there will be any issue here. No, as expected. If you are not able to see what's here, just click on the beside key, the last key, come here and then see how magnified the graph is. Since the pelvis is the major part of the body controller, we cannot leave anything unchecked over here. That's fine. So it went down and settled. Only the feet did not have any ease in, ease out or something. If you remember, in the first action we did, it punched, overshoot and settle. Now from 16 to 20, there was no action. So keep it in mind, no matter what happens, a body cannot stay 100% static at any given point of time unless and until it is dead. So even if your action is ending with an overshoot and settle, and if you have some frames left over, always try to give a little bit of ease in, ease out or slow in, slow out in this part. From 10 to 16 it settled, but the settling will continue till 20 in very minor and negligible amount. So we'll come, delete this 16, we'll go to 18 and paste the 16th key over here. Now you see guys, how much the change is happening, but at least the body is not static, right? If you want to further reduce the movement of the body and just keep it to pixel movement, you're free enough to come here to 18, middle click, and again go to 16 and paste. Can you see how much the change is happening? Or if you feel that the change is too less now, then go to 17 and come here and just play along with these options. Check the graph. The graph will be also exactly like that. Come to the pelvis. Translate Z. No, nothing happened actually. 16 to 20, right? Now check. This was the action of frame number 1. In frame number 10, it went more and then it settled in 16. And 16 to 20, do you see any change in the graph? I don't see anything. Let's press F and check. The value is minus 1.231 and the value is minus 1.231. So didn't we do any ease out in that? Fine, no issues. Come, drag it down. So you see there's a very minor change which has happened, and we can see the change if we zoom in and go more into it. It's just some pixel movement which is happening. Translation Z, no. So hold it, take it down a little. So this is slow out in overshoot settle. I think this has happened too much. Reduce it. Very minor. No, nothing happened. Very minor though. I think I've missed out the pelvis. That's the reason I don't even see any technical change over here. Now rotation X from 16 to 20, 16 to 20. Do you see anything? Come here, check out. No, very minor, change it. If you don't have it, change it, no issues at all. Come down a little bit. Come down a little bit. The hands. And it is not necessary that if you do the slow out in overshoot settle, then each and every key you have to be very particular about. No, you just do a couple of the keys which are more prominent, and this will do the job for you for the rest of the controllers. You don't have to worry about manipulating all the controllers and getting it 100% right. So I won't do this one. Rotation Z also I won't do. This one I feel the translation is more important than the rotation, so I won't even touch the rotation options, but I'll just change a little bit in the translation part. It didn't change anyway, so no need. Now you see how much change. It's from this 16 to 20, very minor, just a pixel change. And though I didn't change all the controllers, though I didn't give slow out in all the controllers, but I gave in the major or the prominent ones which are very much in our eyes, and this does the job for us. So it saves us a time, and we can focus on other features, other aspects which needs our attention.